Hi, my name is Brittany Gellenbeck. Um, I am in SPD-300, and this assignment is week 1. Today I will talk to you about the rules on special education. Special education is a critical topic. Most educators need to know its history and continue to follow any current changes. Under the IDEA, all children with disability, ages 3 through 21, are entitled to a free, appropriate public education that emphasizes special education and related services designed to meet their unique needs and prepare them for their employment and independent living. Special education is specifically designed instruction that addresses the needs of students who need additional help. It is provided for students at no cost through the educational program. A brief history of special education before the 1970s and after. 1954, Brown versus Board of Education. This landmark Supreme Court case declared that racial segregation in public schools was unconstitutional. This case was crucial in establishing the principle that all students, regardless of race, have the right to equal educational opportunities. Elementary and Secondary Education Act 1965. The law was designed to provide free and reduced lunches, support to help low-income families, and increase the number of teachers in low-income areas. We have Vocational Rehab Act and Section 504, 1973. This law is important because it prohibits discrimination against students with disabilities regarding federal financial assistance and defines appropriate education. Education Amendment Act, 1974. This act gives students and their families a right to due process in special education cases and grants federal funding for gifted students. Education for All Handicapped Children Act, 1975. The purpose of this law is to assure that all handicapped children have available to them a free, appropriate public education that emphasizes special education and related services designed to meet their unique needs, to assure that the right of handicapped children and their parents are protected, to assist states and locally to provide for the education of all handicapped children, and to assess and assure the effectiveness of efforts to educate handicapped children. Board of Education of Hudson Central School District versus Rowley. This case happened in 1982. A student was denied the provision of a sign language interpreter. Rawlings' parents contested this decision, and the district court ruled that Rowley's was denied appropriate education. This case redefined FAITH, which stands for Free and Appropriate Public Education. This case was the first special education case decided by the Supreme Court. The court held that an individual education program, IEP, must be reasonably calculated to provide educational benefits to a child with disability. However, the school district did not require to provide every service necessary to maximize the child's potential. Education of the Handicapped Act Amendments of 1986. The law provides early intervention services for children from birth to age 2. The law defines early intervention services, EIS, as meeting the infant or toddler's development needs in one or more of the toddler's developmental needs. Americans with Disability Act 1990 prohibits discrimination based on disability in employment, state and local government, public accommodations, commercial facilities, transportation, and telecommunication. The ADA defines an individual with a disability as a person who has a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more major life activity. A person who has a history or record of such of an impairment, or a person who is perceived by others as having such of an impairment. It required public schools to make available all eligible children with disabilities free appropriate public education, FAPE, in the least restrictive environment relevant to their needs. The IDEA required public school systems to develop the appropriate individual education program for each child. The specific special education and related services outlined in each IEP reflect the individual needs of each student. 1997, reauthorization of IDEA. And then again, in 2001, No Child Left Behind Act reauthorized the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965, became Improve the Academic Achievement of the Disadvantaged. It aims to ensure that all children have fair, equal, and significant opportunity to obtain a high quality education and reach, at a minimum, challenge state academic achievement standards and state academic assessments. 2004 reauthorization of IDEA again included change to the IEP process, due process, and further changes for student discipline. Other changes included the state purpose of the IDEA was expanded to encompass preparing children for further education, employment, and independent living. And in 2015, we had the Every Student Succeeds Act, ESSA. The law gave states more control over standardized testing. It states that only 1% of students can receive an alternate assessment, including a bullying prevention plan. My resources came from Oklahoma. This is where I live and have lived for the last 35 years. We have Oklahoma State Department of Education, which is OSDE, provides updates on special education policies, guidelines, and resources. Oklahoma Parent Center, OPC, is a nonprofit organization that offers support and resources to parents of children with disability. They provide training, workshops, and updates on special education laws and policies. Oklahoma Disability Law Center, ODLC. The ODLC is a federally funded organization that provides legal assistance and advocacy for individuals with disability. They offer resources and information on special education rights and legal trends. Lastly, we have CEC, which is Council for Exceptional Children. The CEC is a professional organization dedicated to improve the education success of individuals with disability. The Oklahoma chapter provides resources, professional development opportunities, and updates on special educational trends and policies. I will link the websites and the resources that I have shared with you today. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.